News 3 at 5 is sponsored by Huffman & Huffman, the family to call when you've been injured.
WTKR News 3 at 5 starts now.
Well, we have been talking about it all week, and the snow is here, falling all across Hampton Roads tonight.
We have team coverage across our region in North Carolina. We show you what areas are stacking up the most and what you need to know if you have to take the risk and head outside. The snow falling, piling up across our region. Take a look at this live look over downtown Norfolk. The scope is white now. You can see the snow here just like the first warning storm team gave us the first warning on days ago.
And there's a lot more on the way. Our news team is spread throughout the 7 cities to bring you the latest as the snow continues to pour in and what conditions are looking like right now.
But just how much longer will we see this snow fall? Our chief meteorologist, Patrick Rocky's here to give us the first warning on what we can expect in the hours ahead.
Well, hi, Kurt. Hi, Jessica. Yeah, it looks like we've got probably another 5 to 6 hours of what we see right now, some heavy snow falling for most of us. And you can see we've got a blanket of white across the entire region right now, from the Outer Banks, the Albemarle, the south side, the peninsulas, the eastern shore. We've got snow falling right now. And you see it on first warning radar. Now, where you're seeing the brighter whites, that's the heavier snow. Where we're seeing kind of this gray color on the middle peninsula, the snow is lighter. Similar story for portions of the eastern shore, but it's still coming down. It's still piling up with very chilly temperatures. But you can see this brighter white here for the south side, the lower portions of the peninsula. So most of Newport News, Hampton, Pocosin, as we look west of the James River here around Smithfield, Suffolk, it is coming down and it is piling up. And similar story across the Albemarle of North Carolina. We have noticed, though, some warmer air starting to nudge in. So we're starting to see that transition around Roanoke Island, Manio, Wanchese, and it's starting to make its way a little bit farther to the north where the warmer air is starting to nudge in. So let's talk about the timing for everything. You see the time up at the top of the screen. Snow across the entire region. As we head toward later in the evening, we start to see it break up a bit out toward I-95. And then while you're sleeping, the snow is going to be moving out. We'll likely see a few more scattered snow showers throughout the day tomorrow, but not the heavy, steady snow that we're seeing out there right now. And then as we head into Friday morning, we wake up to clear skies and sunshine around. So how much snow are we talking about? There you go. You see the bullseye right there for the heaviest of the snow is over the most populated areas of Hampton Roads. We're talking 8 to 12 inches of snow for Hampton, Newport News, Suffolk, into Chesapeake, Norfolk, Portsmouth, Virginia Beach, and even down into Elizabeth City. So a lot of snow on the way. We're going to talk about when temperatures are going to be warming up and when we're going to see the big melt begin. That's coming up in your first warning 7-day forecast.
Patrick, we will see you then. In the meantime, we have to tell you about this happening in Suffolk. Suffolk fire and rescue crews. Look at your screen. They pulled 2 people from their car after it crashed into nearby water. This happened around East Washington Street and Hollywood Avenue around 2 o'clock this afternoon.
Some terrifying images there. Crews say both people had injuries from the cold caused by the car being almost completely underwater, but they did get out. I mean, that is the good thing. This is a strong reminder that if you don't have to be out on the roads tonight or tomorrow, stay home and stay safe. And turning now to Norfolk. Anthony Sabella, he's been in Ocean View all day, and the snow has really picked up there, too.
You know, normally we would start seeing a lot of traffic at this time of evening, but thankfully, Anthony, you've seen it, too, just a few people out on the roads.
Yeah, I mean, you guys just talked about, what can happen in conditions like this. It can be incredibly scary. And yeah, this section of Norfolk, East Ocean View, a lot of people live here. Shore Drive behind me. I mean, if you're familiar with it, you know that this is a very busy road, especially during this time of day, the evening commute. But I mean, if you look over, there's a few cars coming around the bend, but overall, just a lot less than we would normally see, which is what you do like to see. And they're going pretty slowly if you look, especially because this is a bend. You have to kind of come around the bend here where Shore Drive turns into Ocean View Avenue, and it's easy to lose control. We have seen a couple of people fishtail, nothing too bad. They were able to correct themselves, but things can change pretty quickly. Now the good news is we saw our first plow of the day come by. We've been out in this specific section of Shore Drive for the last couple of hours, and we hadn't seen a plow yet. We saw one go by this way. So City of Norfolk crews are at work trying to clear some of these primary roads. Now I want to take you back to a little bit earlier this afternoon. It was about mid-afternoon when when the snow really started coming down here in East Beach and East Ocean View, and it didn't take long. We got the drone up. It didn't take long for visibility to go down quite a bit. We were over by the Pretty Lake Bridge, just about maybe a quarter mile from where I am right now earlier, and you could really start seeing those cars slow down as the snow started collecting on the road. It did not take long at all for that snow and slush to get there. I was able to get on the phone with City Councilman Tommy Smeagol earlier today. He is the city councilman for this area, and he tells me one thing he really wants to see is just road crews working quicker to get these primary roads cleared. So we had another snow a few weeks ago, and he said it took a little bit too long to get Shore Drive, Ocean View, and Granby Street, which goes all the way downtown, cleared, even though those are busy primary roads. And so he said that these roads have been better pre-treated, he thinks, this time around, and he's hoping that, you know, the crews will be able to respond accordingly as the snow falls. As I mentioned, we just saw our first plow, so it'll be interesting to see what happens through the night if they can get these primary roads cleared for those people who do have to go into work in the morning. But again, stay home if you can, right? That's what we're all going to say that. It's so important. You don't want to be dealing with this. We're right up next to the Chesapeake Bay, and the wind just coming off is just brutal, folks. With that, though, we want to continue our coverage with reporter John Hood. He's in Virginia Beach. John, I know you're dressed for this weather, boy. I saw a picture of what you looked like. Looking good.
Thanks, Anthony. I appreciate it. Really just trying to get the wind and the snow out of my face with these goggles. If you saw us earlier around 4:30, we were out in Virginia Beach Town Center all afternoon checking out the snow down there. Snow began to fall here in Virginia Beach around 1 o'clock. And as we were over there in Town Center, we told you we're going to try and trek our way down here to Mount Trashmore, which isn't too far away. Now, it's something that the city's been telling everyone all week is that Mount Trashmore is closed. And so we want to just give you a glimpse of this 757 beauty. Take a look at that. Mount Trashmore, not covered in trash, no, but a blanket of snow. It looks amazing. Chef's kiss right there. But just to show you, the city is putting words to what it was telling us. Take a look at that. The gate is closed to the Mount Trashmore Park. You cannot park here. We have seen a couple cars come by here to check out the snow. And as well as there is park staff or city staff here making sure that no one goes down that mountain just because it's pretty dangerous, pretty slick with all this snow. You want to stay safe. Now, when we were coming down here, the roads, they were pre-treated earlier this week. As we're coming down South Independence to where we're at here now in Mount Trashmore, the roads are covered in snow. I mean, it's pretty thick, even though it's been pre-treated. We have seen plows out, but we're expecting the city, or the city at least told us, that they won't really start plowing until around 6 o'clock tonight, just for the snow to accumulate more out on the streets. So if you are going out, just please be careful. We've seen a lot of people out and about who are driving slowly, but you know, wherever you're going, if you're headed home from work, you just want to make sure that you make it home safe. So for now, live here at Mount Trashmore, I'm John Hood.
All right, our John Hood keeping the goggles on, getting his money's worth after he got those for a snowboarding trip, but also staying safe. We'll check back in with you again later on this evening.
And from the highly coveted Mount Trashmore, where I'm telling you, I know why they have people positioned out there, because that's very tempting. I mean, that's what used to be like the ideal place to go sledding. Not safe. Kids don't head there. So we've seen what's happening in Virginia Beach. Now let's head to the peninsula, and that's where we find News 3's Leandra Head. She's live at Newport News Public Utilities Yard, where, Leandra, they're gearing up for a busy night.
Oh, absolutely, Kurt. And here in Newport News, the snow is falling down steadily. Just a few minutes ago, this entire yard was filled with plow trucks, but they left a few minutes ago to begin clearing and plowing off the major roads here in Newport News and bridges. Now, the Newport News Public Works Department says that they wanted to wait until the snow accumulation started to build up before they got those plow trucks on the road. They say they'll have 14 plow trucks out and 9 salt trucks out on the roads tonight, this evening, into tomorrow, just to make sure those roads are clear and safe. I actually spoke to someone within the department who shares with me what roads that they are going to be prioritizing tonight with these trucks.
So we're going to focus on all of our priority routes, which would be our arterial roads, such as Warwick Boulevard, Jefferson Avenue, Mercury Boulevard, things like that. And then we would also do our secondary roads and anything in front of police stations, fire stations, and hospitals.
Perfect. Awesome. And the Public Works Department tells me that crews will be working overtime tonight, this evening, into tomorrow, just to ensure those bridges and majorly traveled roads and also secondary roads are clear and safe to drive on if you are getting out. But again, if you don't have to get out, it's best to stay in, as this snow will turn into ice as the temperatures drop throughout the evening. Live in Newport News, I'm Leandra Head, WTKR News 3.
Leandra, thanks so much. And we now head to North Carolina, where we've seen more and more snow falling just in the past few hours.
News 3's Will Thomas joins us live now from Elizabeth City. Well, you were one of the first places where we saw the snow really coming down. How are things shaping up now?
Well, it's wild to think at my first live shot just about 5 hours ago, this is completely clear. And I mean, we're seeing this. Really, the snow covering the road here has only been in the past couple hours, and that's just kind of what we've been seeing as it starts to come down. It's kind of like lighter now, you know, a little bit kind of stopped from what we've been seeing, but it's kind of like a more harder snow. It's not just, you know, the snow flurries. But like I said, though, that kind of start of it earlier before noon, it was peaceful. It's been coming down in full force, at least over the past 2 hours. And I mean, most of the day we've seen people out and about, mainly at gas stations and grocery stores, preparing just in case. And though some residents we spoke with weren't worried, one says no matter what's coming, he always wants to be prepared.
We just get prepared for the storm because, you know, you never know what you might need.
And I mean, from what we've been seeing over the past couple hours, especially with these roads, from what we've been, you know, talking with NCDOT about how dangerous it is out there, and their crews working all around the clock into the night, into the next couple days. I mean, I feel like it was pretty good choice for some of the people to be prepared for what we have here, at least in Elizabeth City. Live in Elizabeth City, Will Thomas, WTKR News 3.
As the snow continues to fall, you can stay on top of the forecast with the News 3 app. It has the latest from our first warning storm team and breaking alerts. You can get it for free at WTKR.com/apps or find it in the Apple or Android App Store.
And the snow falling across Hampton Roads, and our team coverage continues as we get a look at how things are shaping up across the Mermaid City. That's in just a bit, but first here's Patrick.
Well, Jessica, yeah, we've probably got another 6+ hours of snow to go. The snow is piling up, and I know you snow fans are loving it. For you who don't love it, yeah, we'll let you know when it's all going to melt coming up in minutes.
You're watching WTKR News 3, part of the Scripps News Group.
And welcome back to our special coverage of this winter storm. And, you know, we've been trying to just cover all around the region, and in particular show you what the roads are looking like so that you don't decide to get out and maybe run some errands, because that's not a good idea right about now.
Yeah, let's bring in our Margaret Kavanaugh. She's joining us live now. Margaret, you have been driving around Virginia Beach Boulevard. It looks like you are safely parked on the side of the road, because you've seen a couple of concerning fishtail things happening out there.
Yeah, we've seen a whole bunch of issues. A truck fishtailing. There was a police officer helping another person that had lost control. And then earlier in downtown Norfolk, we saw one car that looked like it hit the back of the other car, causing a little bit of damage. We pulled over. We're at a parking lot at a Royal Farms here in the city of Norfolk. Let me turn our camera around so you can see what Virginia Beach Boulevard looks like. Lots of snow, a blanket of snow. There are some cars going by. It looks like a lot of businesses are closed. Some of them a few with the lights open, and there are some people. Most people are driving appropriately, slowing down. Our top speed out here has been at 20 miles an hour, just to give you an idea of what the roads are like. It is slippery and it is very dangerous, but as you can see, some of those cars going by, some going a little faster than others. We did get information from the city of Norfolk here. They say waste management routes on Thursday will be collected on Saturday, and then trash collection on Friday will be picked up on Monday. So in case anybody was worried or had a full trash can that they wanted taken care of, those are the new dates. Also, schools in Norfolk, in-person learning Thursday and Friday. That was the latest that we got from the school district. But anybody, if you head out, you definitely want to you definitely don't want to be on the roads if you can avoid it if possible. But obviously, if there is a need to get out, you've got to go really slow because all the roads, the snow keeps piling up, getting more and more, and it's a bit rough out here. So we just want everybody to be careful out there. Live in Norfolk, Margaret Kavanaugh, News 3.
And we want to remind you that Virginia's Governor Glenn Youngkin and North Carolina's Governor Josh Stein both sharing the same urgent push to everyone, stay off the roads. Governor Youngkin says members of the Virginia National Guard are coming here to Hampton Roads and the Eastern Shore to help with any emergency rescues and cleanup efforts. We haven't had snow like this in our region in several years, so it's likely some people in Hampton Roads are not experienced driving in this. So again, if you do not have to get out on the roads, we encourage you to stay home.
And speaking of the roads, Kurt, I want to give people a tour of what we are seeing across our region. This is on 264 near Mount Trashmore, and this is what we want to see. Very few cars on the roads. This is a look at I-64 near Battlefield Boulevard in the city of Chesapeake. We see maybe one car over there, so that's how things are shaping up there. This is in Suffolk tonight. This is Bridge Road near Bennett's Pasture Road, so you can see just a few cars here. But you can also see right here, if we can take this image full, you can see there is a car and a tow truck off to the side there. Yeah, we've been seeing crashes all throughout the evening. And whoa, this is on I-64 near Mercury Boulevard in the city of Hampton. My goodness, you can see a lot of the lights there. So I'm going to check on with VDOT to see exactly what they've been finding there. But I have been finding crashes throughout 64. This is actually, I believe, 64 eastbound. So again, crashes almost everywhere you turn. And again, this is in Virginia Beach on Shore Drive near the Lesner Bridge. You can see the snow blanketing everywhere. You can see all that orange slowdowns, crashes. So again, please be safe. We'll have an update from Virginia State Police on the number of crashes they've been tracking in just a bit.
Well, a lot of closings and delays coming into the News 3 newsroom at this hour, and they will be scrolling. You see them right now, scrolling at the bottom of your screen. Or if you're looking for something specific, you can always find updated closings at WTKR.com on our homepage and the News 3 app.
Well, let's bring in our chief meteorologist, Patrick Rocky. Patrick, you've been giving us the first warning on this storm system for days. Now it's here.
It is here, and you see we have snow from end to end across the area, from the peninsulas and the eastern shore to the south side, the Outer Banks right now. We've got snow. It's weird. This is what, the second snowstorm to cover portions of the Outer Banks this season, or we don't get that very often. The big question we get a lot of times with the snow is this going to be good snowman making weather? And for most of us, not great. For the south side of Hampton Roads, we're going to be a little on the chilly side, so the snow that's falling is a little powdery. It's kind of a mix between powdery and wet, so some fluffy snow, not fantastic for snowman making. Even worse, though, as the farther north we go onto the peninsulas, so it's going to be very powdery snow, not perfect for snowmen. You head south of the state line into eastern North Carolina, though, and I think we're going to have much better snow for making snowmen, and so we're going to see a lot around the neighborhoods in Carolina. I mentioned the temperatures. Typically, the closer you are to the freezing marks, like 32 degrees, the better the snowman making, the better the snowball ball making. But you can see we're going to be well down into the 20s, even chillier, even some lower 20s in some of our northern locations over the next few hours. And so that's going to make more of a powdery snow. This is 9 o'clock tonight. We are still basically covered up in snow. We start to see some breaks, though, out toward I-95 at that point, and we start to see some warmer air nudge in, so that snow I showed you on the Outer Banks will start to change over to rain and wash away some of that snow. But you can see around the Albemarle, we'll have temperatures hovering right around or a little bit above freezing, so it's going to be a wetter snow. As we take you to 11 o'clock, as you tune in for the late news, most of us will still have some snow falling, but the closer you live to I-95, the better your chance for drier weather at that point. While you're sleeping, snow is going to be moving out. Now, there will be some snow showers around for tomorrow, but the snow is not going to be the bigger story tomorrow. It's going to be the wind combined with that wet snow that could cause some power outages. We start to see things break up as we head towards 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. Our skies are going to be clearing as we take you into Friday. So here's how much to expect expect in your neighborhood, the bullseye for the heaviest snow will be over our most populated areas, the 7 cities of Hampton Roads. So you can see we're talking 9 to 10 inches from Suffolk to Portsmouth, Norfolk, Chesapeake, Virginia Beach, Hampton, Newport News, 8 to 9 inches, around 9 inches for our friends in Cape Charles on the eastern shore. Cape Charles is a beautiful little town. It's going to look gorgeous with all that snow. And across eastern North Carolina, you can see the bullseye of 8 to 9 inches from Moyock down toward Elizabeth City. Half a foot of snow in Edenton. You know it's a big snowstorm when we're talking half a foot, and that's one of the smaller areas. And by the way, Edenton, also one of the prettiest small towns, and will look gorgeous with all of that snow blanketing it. You can see tomorrow high temperature only of around freezing, and that's only briefly. So it's going to be a while till we really start to see some significant melting. On Friday, temperatures will climb above freezing, and sunshine will help, but notice those overnight lows. So anything that does get kind of slushy during the day is going to refreeze at night, so roads are going to be a mess all the way into the weekend. By Sunday, we'll start to see the big melt begin, and by Tuesday, we have a high temperature of 60 degrees.
And I would think that maybe now, while the snow is still fluffy, try to see how much you can clear from the steps in your driveway, because overnight, I guess it's going to maybe freeze up.
Yeah, and especially the next couple of days. So you don't want to leave that very long. You know, mailman's got to get to the house.
Yes, and you do not want to have any slip and fall incidents.
No, you do not.
You can avoid it.
Yep.
Thank you, Patrick.
All right, so while some are staying inside and trying to get warm, there are some taking advantage of the snow day. I'm so envious of News 3's Beverly Kidd. Out in Norfolk, showing how people are enjoying the snow on the beach.
I'm Beverly Kidd at Ocean View Beach, where it started snowing around noon, and I really haven't seen too many people out in the weather except in their cars, but I did meet these two nice ladies. So now everyone is inside except you guys. What are you doing?
We are going to the beach and see how the snow, looks from, today. See how the water looks. Virginia, snow at the water. We're kind of curious how it's gonna look.
When the snow first started about noon here in Ocean View, it was kind of a snow and sleet mix, but now it is definitely all snow. In the Ocean View section of Norfolk, I'm Beverly Kidd, WTKR News 3.
Bev, having a good time out there. So from Norfolk to Williamsburg, this is a live look from Wren Yard at the campus of William and Mary.
Looks beautiful.
It is such a beautiful sight that you want to screenshot that and make that a postcard, right? Well, our team coverage continues of the snowstorm after this. You're watching News 3 at 5. Our team coverage continues of the snow blanketing Hampton Roads, and that coverage continues tonight in Virginia Beach.
And we turn back to News 3's John Hood live for us in Virginia Beach. All right, so John, we see that you are ready with the right gear on. What are you seeing right now in Virginia Beach?
Yeah, hey, Kurt and Jess. Well, you talk about seeing. It's kind of hard to do right now. I have these goggles on so I can keep the wind and the snow out of my face a little bit. But just visibility as a whole around here down Mount Trashmore, it's kind of hard. The snow's coming down. Like from where I'm at in the parking lot, you kind of can't even see the traffic stop that's at the end near South Independence. But as you can see, the city's been talking about this all week. Mount Trashmore is closed. It's closed. You can't come here. So that's what we're trying to give you a look right now as to what it looks like so you don't go out in the snow. You can enjoy it from the comfort of your home. Take a look at this Mount Trashmore covered in a blanket of snow. It looks amazing, but you cannot sled down it. You don't want to go down there. It's dangerous, and the city wants to make sure that everyone stays safe. Adding on top of what they've told us already this week, where they said that they would have staff out here to make sure people don't come out here, there is city staff out here waiting to make sure that no one comes out here and tries to head down the mountain. But when we're out on the roads earlier, maybe about an hour ago, as we're trying to get here to Mount Trashmore, the roads are filled with snow. We have seen plows out and about still laying down salt. We talked about how there's been pre-treatment out here in Virginia Beach since Monday. Coming up in the next half hour, we're expecting to see those plow trucks begin to plow the roads. Those priority 1 routes, those are the roads that lead to things like the fire stations and hospitals hospitals to make sure anyone who needs assistance during an emergency can get that assistance. But we're going to continue to stay out here in Virginia Beach and monitor the conditions, and we'll give you another look coming up here at 6 o'clock. Live Virginia Beach, I'm John Hood, WTKR News 3.
John, thank you so much. And in case people are wondering real quickly, I mean, many moons ago, I was out there sledding on Mount Trashville, and they were having some serious accidents out there. I mean, kids sledding into the streets, sledding into the fences, and I mean, they had to like call paramedics, and so that was, I don't know, several years ago, and they just said, look, this is a serious safety issue. In case people are wondering, like, oh man, how come we can't go there? It's because they're looking out for your safety. All right, we now want to check back into North Carolina. Well, Will Thomas is keeping watch of the roads for us out there.
So, well, when we first saw you, the snow was really coming down. It looks like it's let up just a bit, but give us an idea of how things have changed over the last few hours.
Yeah, I mean, when I was getting ready for this live shot, probably, you know, even an hour ago, it was coming down hard, but it's definitely kind of just gotten a little bit lighter. It feels more of kind of like a frozen rain, a little bit harder, you know, not the fluffy snow that we were seeing the majority of the early snowfall. So it's kind of something that's been nice to see. It's kind of quieted down here in the downtown area. You know, it was really busy here over the past few hours, and I know as these roads keep getting covered in snow that the crews are out working, but I mean, the message has always been to stay off the roads if you can, and I mean, it's been nice to kind of see it quiet down here as we go into the nighttime. And I mean, we still have some people kind of getting out, kind of enjoying. We talked to some kids, talked to just about coming downtown, you know, when no one's around, it's kind of quiet. They're kind of enjoying kind of what it has to offer, and that's kind of just what we've been doing here. And when we talk to the crews, it's just they're going to be obviously treating the primary roads. They're saying the more work they can get done is when there's less people on the road. So it is good to see, you know, that people are kind of heading up if they're coming home from work or whatever they were doing. They're staying home, kind of keeping it, you know, obviously a few more on the roads here, but we've just gotten the message out that these roads are not safe to drive on, and it's something that crews are going to be out and about all the way in through the rest of the, you know, to Friday is what we've heard. So that's kind of what we've been dealing with here. And Will Thomas, I'm live in Elizabeth City, WTKR News 3.
All right, well, you be safe out there. And listen, I'm envious of that truck that just went down the street.
Why is that?
It looks like its tires can handle what's on the roads.
Yeah, don't get overconfident, though. You know, you see a lot of times the folks think, oh, I've got the big truck, I've got the SUV, so don't get overconfident. The roads are a mess for everybody right now. And you can see the blanket of snow across the entire region right now. We're starting to see temperatures warm up just a little bit across the Outer Banks. Now, all the way up to 32 degrees in Manio, we're seeing kind of a transition over to more of a freezing rain, sleet kind of situation there. As we look a little bit around Nags Head as well, you can see we're in the upper 20s around Moyock, so that's where you start to see kind of a little bit of a wetter snow right now. But for most of us, it is kind of a fluffy snow that's falling across the region right now. Where we see the brighter whites here on first warning radar is where we're seeing the heaviest of the snow, exactly where we expected, right about here. And so that's where we expect the most snow. We dive in here a little bit closer. I mentioned the warmer air starting to nudge in, I mean relatively warmer, and you can see we've got rain now that transitioned north of Oregon Inlet up toward areas around the Body Island Lighthouse, beginning to push into Roanoke Island there around Wanchese and Manio. But the rest of us, we've got snow falling, and it's accumulating, and will for the next few hours. That's 8 o'clock. We're still covered up with the snow. Notice out toward I-95, we start to see it breaking up a bit by 11 p.m. While you're sleeping, the snow is going to be moving out. We should wake up to that beautiful blanket of snow tomorrow morning, but maybe a few flurries here and there. We should be dry early on before we see some more snow showers start to move in as we head into the afternoon. Winds are going to be picking up as well, and it's kind of breezy out there right now. So let's send it upstairs to our forecaster, Dara Getter, with the latest on what's happening over Norfolk. Dara?
Patrick, yeah, right now we're still seeing that snowfall come down at a pretty moderate rate right now. You could see earlier at the top of the 4 o'clock news, I put my hand into this imprint on the table. it's completely covered up right now. So right now we're seeing temperatures fall. Snowfall is a pretty powdery consistency right now. So definitely not the type of snowfall that you'd want to make a snowman with. But as we head into tomorrow, temperatures come up a little bit. You'll be able to go out and enjoy that a little bit in your front yards. Roads are still a little bit slick and dangerous out there. So snowfall coming down at a moderate rate. It's blowing that snow around a little bit with that light breeze. So that is reducing our visibility quite a bit. I mean, if you look out over again, just to my left, you can see just how low the visibility is down over there. Kurt, Jessica.
All right, our forecaster Derek Getter on the roof, who's continuing our team coverage.
All right, and roads in Norfolk, as you know, Dara's been talking about, all of us have been talking about, pretty well covered, including the Ghent section of Norfolk.
That's where we find News 3's Jay Green.
Hey there, everybody. We are here along Colley Avenue in Norfolk's Ghent neighborhood, and as you can see, the roads are pretty covered out here right now. I do want to mention and show you that we did see some plows come through earlier, and they made a little bit of a dent here. That was maybe about an hour or so ago, and you can see the roads already covered once again. So if you do have to come out, you know, just take it easy, take it slow. You don't want to slam on the brakes or anything like that. I did talk to some folks who were out walking earlier, and they're enjoying it.
Go sledding, probably go throw snowballs at friends.
I love it. This is like Christmas in February.
So if you do have to be out here, just play it safe, take it easy. And again, we have seen some plows out here trying to keep the roads free for those who do have to be out. For now, we're in Norfolk. I'm Jay Green, WTKR News 3.
And when we come back, snow at the beach, the stunning sight of the sand and how local business owners are adjusting to the storm.
You're watching WTKR News 3, part of the Scripps News Group.
Our special coverage of this winter storm continues in Virginia Beach.
News 3's Angela Bohan is checking in to see how the storm is affecting southern Virginia Beach.
I'm here at Sandbridge Beach, and I wanted to get out before things get too bad. I won't be out here long, but boy, it sure is pretty. Check out the lines in the sand.
I also saw some other beautiful sights on the way to Sandbridge as the snow began falling. And while it is a picturesque winter wonderland, some places remain open to service customers, like Patient First on General Booth Boulevard. Their providers are staying busy, but a spokesperson did recommend checking their website just in case, and said they offer telehealth appointments. Meantime, the owner of Sandbridge Market, the only grocery store in Sandbridge, says they even made extra of their famous donuts for Thursday, but he expects it might be pretty quiet.
Construction workers have shut their sites down. They are planning on taking a 3-day vacation, I think. Schools are out.
And he's right. There will be no in-person classes for Virginia Beach City Public Schools, but students will have an asynchronous day. City offices will be closed Thursday.
And if you live in Virginia Beach and you're wondering, what should I do with my trash bins? Well, the city says that if your pickup day is Wednesday or Thursday, it's now been moved to Saturday. If it's normally on Friday, it's been moved to next Monday. But they also advise that you leave it at the street just in case the schedule would change. We'll put this information on our website, WTKR.com. In Virginia Beach, Angela Bohan, WTKR News 3.
Our team coverage of the snowstorm continues now in Portsmouth.
News 3's Erica Craven has more on the conditions there, and here's from a few brave souls who ventured out to play.
Because the roads are getting bad, we stopped along High Street in Portsmouth. But take a look at the road conditions right now. Now, there is some accumulation on the ground. It's a bit slushy, but it is getting slick, especially at the intersections. Though there are a few folks who've been enjoying the weather too, like this family who stopped by Portsmouth City Park to catch a few flakes before the weather gets worse.
It's fun just to look at, but now that I got a kid, it's fun to get out and play in it again. It's fun to play in as a kid, but as an adult, it kind of was fun just to look at it.
He works at the grocery store, so he's been seeing people stocking up, ready to watch the storm from home. In Portsmouth, Erica Craven, WTKR News 3.
And there is a live look around the region, and here am I. And you can see we've got snow falling just about everywhere. We're going to talk about how much more snow to expect and when the snow is going to melt. We've got some 60-degree temperatures to talk about coming up.
And right now, our team coverage continues in Chesapeake.
News 3 reporter Brendan Ponton is in South Norfolk.
Here in South Norfolk, it is very snowy. This is a look at some of the accumulation that has gone on here. And this is Poindexter Street over here, and it is covered in snow, although plows have been coming through. Still, though, a treacherous drive.
I've been in Chesapeake all day. The snow began in Greenbrier at about noon and then really started to stick at about 1:30 or so. The city has 37 plows ready to go to clear the streets, and I've seen them already in action. They say the focus will be on emergency routes, primary roads, and then secondary and connector roads. They will not be plowing neighborhood streets. Before the snow started coming down, people were busy at local stores gearing up to hunker down with some essential items.
I mean, it's snowing. I'm from Maryland, so it's nice to have some back. Beer, chips, queso.
And officials want people to stay off the streets so they can try and keep them as clear as possible during this storm. In Chesapeake, Brendan Ponton, WTKR News 3.
Well, as you can see, the snow is falling and it's continuing to pile up across the region, and we've got more of that on the way. In our weather headlines, our major winter storm continues through the evening. While you're sleeping, the snow is going to be moving out, and so most of us will not wake up to any more snow falling tomorrow morning, although we likely will still see some scattered snow showers tomorrow. The bigger weather story tomorrow is going to be the winds. The winds are going to pick up. That, combined with the heavy snow, could cause some scattered power outages, and it's going to be around for a while before the big melt begins. And that significant melting probably won't start until Sunday. I'm not saying that snow won't melt some. We're going to have some sunshine and temperatures will be warming above freezing, but we'll get a refreeze in the overnight hours. So you can see our temperature trend here. Normal highs around 54 degrees. We're going to maybe hit 32 degrees for tomorrow. We do climb above freezing for Friday and Saturday, but we're only talking upper 30s to around 40. By Sunday, though, we do climb well above freezing, around 48 degrees. We're back to near normal in the mid-50s on Monday. But I mentioned the refreezes at night. You can see our morning low temperatures are going to be down into the 20s. Thursday morning, Friday morning, just 22 degrees. Saturday morning, Sunday morning, 29 degrees, but then we will climb above freezing significantly Sunday afternoon. And you can see Monday morning, most of us wake up above the freezing mark. So that will really help start to melt a lot of the snow. And I know kids and a lot of adults, Kurt Williams, are saying, why are you talking about all the snow going away? It's going to be a while, and it's going to cause problems. You know, the neighborhood roads are going to stay covered in snow, and so you too will likely, even if you're a snow fan, you're going to be wondering when the snow is going to go away over the next few days. There's our weather maker, that coastal storm. It is bringing us lots of moisture. We have lots of cold air in place. Where we're seeing the brighter white colors here is where we're seeing the heaviest of the snow. Exactly what we expected. Kind of the bullseye across the south side, the lower portion of the lower peninsula, and portions of eastern North Carolina. We've got some pretty good snow falling, and that will continue as we take you through the next few hours, stopping the clock there at 8 p.m. Still pretty much covered up in snow. As we get toward 11 o'clock, you notice out toward I-95, we start to see it breaking up. That's the drier air that's going to move in while you're sleeping, and we'll wake up to dry weather on your Thursday morning. Windy conditions throughout the day and more scattered snow showers kind of wrapping around that storm system as it moves away from us. And then our skies even start to clear as we head toward late tomorrow evening or late tomorrow afternoon and into the evening hours. So we're still on track for this bullseye. I think widespread, we're talking 8 to 10 inches, where we could see some areas that get a foot of snow, 12 inches of snow from the southern tip of the eastern shore, southern tip of the lower peninsula, south side of Hampton Roads, and into eastern North Carolina around the Elizabeth City area. So tomorrow, a high temperature all the way up to the freezing mark, and then we see slowly warming, and by around Tuesday of next week, we expect temperatures to be well above freezing to around 60 degrees.
I just talked with my wife, and the dogs are not a fan of the snow. She's having a hard time convincing them to get out.
To get out.
Another reason for the big melt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just take this toe shovel and just kind of clear a spot in the grass.
Yeah.
That should work, right?
That'll get old real fast.
Yeah, I'll let y'all deal with that. All right, thank you, Patrick. We'll see you in just a bit. You know, our storm team coverage continues. Next on News 3 at 6, as we see the snow blanketing downtown Norfolk, we have crews all across Hampton Roads and Northeast North Carolina checking in on conditions as our team coverage of the Winter Storm 2025 continues after this.